You know, as we get older, most people start worrying about their heart, their memory, or what they're eating. But there's one part of the body that quietly holds the key to our freedom and independence: our legs. I've worked with hundreds of people over 50, and if there's one thing I've learned, it's this: as long as your legs are strong, your life is still your own. Healthy legs let you get out of bed on your own, walk into the kitchen, stroll to the park, or simply stand steady while hugging your grandchild. But the truth is, our legs are often the first to feel the effects of aging: muscle loss, weaker bones, slower reflexes. And from there, the risk of falling just keeps going up. And you know what? For older adults, a fall isn't just painful. It can change your entire life. That's why today, I want to share with you how to protect the part of your body that often gets overlooked: your legs. Let's explore a few simple things you can start doing today to keep your legs strong, steady, and full of life. Have you ever noticed that after an illness, or just a few weeks of being less active, your body doesn't feel as strong as it used to? Every step feels heavier, and getting up from a chair feels just a little harder. That's not just getting older, that's your muscles slowly getting weaker. I once worked with a man named James. He was in his 60s and had always been active. But after just a few months of diabetes treatment, he lost nearly 9 pounds of muscle, and everything changed. Climbing stairs got harder. Standing up took longer. He told me, "I didn't realize how fast muscle disappears and how hard it is to get it back." And I told him something I want to share with you today. Muscles don't disappear because of age. They disappear because we stop taking care of them. One of the simplest, most effective ways to maintain and even rebuild muscle is by eating enough lean protein every day. When you eat foods like chicken breast, fish, lentils, tofu, or soy, you're not just feeding your body, you're sending a message to every cell: I'm not ready to slow down. I want you to picture this. Every meal is a chance to rebuild a piece of your strength, and you are never too old to start doing that. I know it's easy to say, but starting is always the hardest part. So just begin small. Add a serving of fish to your lunch or a glass of soy milk in the evening. Have you ever felt yourself getting weaker after turning 60? What have you tried to get that strength back? Share it in the comments, because sometimes your story could be the inspiration someone else needs. Have you ever stepped out of bed in the morning and felt like your legs were just a little weaker than the day before? Not exactly painful, just not as steady as they used to be? I've heard that so many times from patients, from my own friends, people who've passed 50, then 60, 70. A woman named Margaret, she's 67, once told me, "I just slipped a little in the kitchen, but the doctor said I broke my hip. I didn't think my bones were that weak." The truth is, after age 50, our bones start to lose density, and it happens quietly without warning, until one small fall turns into something much bigger. But here's the good news. There's something you can start doing today to change that. And calcium, yes, that mineral you probably heard about as a kid, is still one of your bone's best friends at this stage of life. And I'm not just talking about milk. Sure, milk and cheese are great sources of calcium, but so are kale, broccoli, or even calcium-fortified almond milk. They can all be part of a healthy daily routine. I want you to imagine this. Every glass of milk, every plate of greens you eat, is like placing one more brick in the strong foundation of your body. Not to go back to your 20s, but to hold on to your independence, your freedom, and your joy in everyday life. Have you ever thought about how to get enough calcium the right way? Tell me about it. Or just start tomorrow morning with a calcium-rich breakfast. Your bones and your future will thank you for it. I want you to picture this. You're eating well, adding milk, more leafy greens, even taking calcium supplements. But then you go in for a checkup, and the doctor still says your bones aren't strong enough. Why does that happen? One of my patients, Mr. Arthur, 72 years old, once asked me that exact question. He said, "I drink milk every day, I eat fish, I take calcium. So why do I still feel tired, weak, and recently even got a hairline fracture from just a small slip?" And then the test results came back. He was severely low in vitamin D. You see, vitamin D is like the key that unlocks your body's ability to absorb calcium. Without it, Even if you've taken all the calcium you need, it doesn't actually get to where it needs to go. Your bones, your muscles, your immune system. I often call vitamin D the sunshine vitamin because a big part of it comes from sun exposure. But once we hit 60, our skin doesn't produce vitamin D as efficiently as it used to. And if you live somewhere with little sun, or you stay indoors most of the time, you can become deficient without even knowing it. Foods like salmon, mackerel, eggs, and vitamin D fortified milk are great sources. But sometimes that's still not enough. I usually recommend my older patients get a simple blood test, and if needed, take a vitamin D supplement under their doctor's guidance. Have you ever had your vitamin D levels checked? I'm not just asking so you'll think about it today. I've seen far too many people who didn't realize how something so small could make such a big difference. Because good health as we age isn't about complicated things. It's about the little things we sometimes forget. And vitamin D is one of those. I want you to sit down, take a deep breath, and ask yourself, when was the last time I felt light on my feet, flexible, and free from those constant nagging aches? An old patient of mine, Frank, he's 69 this year, once came to see me and said, I don't want to run a marathon document. I just want to wake up in the morning without my knees sounding like an old, creaky chair. And I told him something I also want to share with you today. There's a small nutrient with powerful effects. It can ease pain, reduce inflammation, and improve blood flow. It's called omega-3. You can find omega-3 in everyday foods like salmon, sardines, chia seeds, flax seeds, or even a few walnuts in your afternoon snack. These simple foods quietly nourish your heart, soothe your joints, and help your circulation day by day. I often describe omega-3 as a natural lubricant for the body, not magic. It won't make us young again, but it can help keep us from being held back by our own bodies. And the amazing part is just by adding a few servings of fish to your weekly meals, or sprinkling flax seeds into your morning oatmeal, you're already making a big difference for yourself. Have you ever thought a type of fat could actually help you feel less pain? If not, maybe it's time for omega-3 to enter your healthy aging story. Because living well isn't about running fast. It's about knowing how to keep going without the pain holding you back. I want you to think about this. When you were younger, a stumble just meant brushing yourself off and moving on. But at this age, even a small bump can leave you sore for days. Why is that? An old patient of mine, Helen, 66 years old, once told me after a minor fall in her garden, my body doesn't bounce back like it used to. Doctor, it's like everything inside me feels more fragile. I smiled at her and said, you're right, and part of that is due to a lack of antioxidants. You see, antioxidants aren't some fancy or complicated science thing. They're actually your body's quiet little soldiers, protecting your muscles, joints, and cells from constant attacks by free radicals, those harmful molecules that come from aging, stress, and even the environment around us. And the amazing thing is, you can find those soldiers right in your kitchen, in juicy berries, fresh green spinach, or those brightly colored bell peppers. A plate full of colorful vegetables isn't just a pretty meal. It's a shield protecting the parts of you that have carried you for decades. Your legs, your knees, your arms, and even your heart. I want you to picture this. Every color on your plate, red, orange, purple, green, is like a brushstroke in the painting of your healthy aging. And you are the artist of a strong, vibrant life. Have you ever thought your simple salad could be such a powerful remedy? If not, maybe today is the day you start looking at your vegetables in a whole new light. Have you ever felt tired even when you haven't done much at all? Not because you're sick, not because of old age, just low on energy. An old patient of mine, David, he's 71, once said something I'll never forget. Doc, every morning I wake up like I just run 10 laps and I haven't even left bed. And you know what? I didn't laugh. I understood. Because so many people at this age are fueling their bodies the wrong way every single day without even realizing it. I want you to imagine this. If your body were a car, whole grains would be the clean fuel that keeps you running smoothly without sputtering halfway down the road. Brown rice, oats, whole grain bread, barley. These rough-sounding foods are actually packed with treasure. Fiber to keep your blood sugar steady, B vitamins to turn food into energy and lasting fullness, so you're not craving sugar and snacks all day long. I saw a big change in David. After just 3 weeks of switching to oatmeal and whole grain toast for breakfast, he called me and said, "I feel younger, not because of pills, just because I'm eating right." So let me ask you, what are you putting into your body each morning? Is it fuel or just filler? You don't have to change everything overnight. But if tomorrow morning you reach for oats instead of a sweet pastry, your body just might notice, and it'll thank you in a quiet but very clear way. I want you to think back to a recent night when you were fast asleep and suddenly, bam, a cramp hits your calf, sharp, tight, and so painful it jolts you out of bed. Have you ever experienced that? Margaret, a loyal viewer and also one of my patients, once told me, "I'm not afraid of getting old. Doctor, I'm just afraid of those nighttime cramps. They come out of nowhere and steal my whole night's sleep." When I heard that, I asked her, "Have you ever had your magnesium levels checked?" And she was surprised, just like most people are, because magnesium isn't something we often think about. Even though it plays a role in every single muscle contraction, every night of restful sleep, and every mysterious pain we just can't explain, magnesium is a silent but essential mineral. It helps muscles move smoothly, supports a relaxed nervous system, lowers the risk of cramps, and keeps your heartbeat steady. And you don't need to run to the pharmacy to get magnesium. It's right there in everyday foods. Crunchy almonds, roasted pumpkin seeds, dark leafy greens, and even the whole grains I talked about earlier. I often tell my patients, if you eat like you're nurturing your health, instead of just filling your stomach, your body will respond with real gratitude. A bowl of stir-fried greens with a sprinkle of pumpkin seeds, a small handful of almonds in your afternoon snack. Those tiny things might be the reason you sleep through the night, without being woken by a sudden cramp. Have you ever thought that a small mineral like magnesium could change your entire night's peace? I want you to imagine a river for a moment. If there isn't enough water, the current slows down, becomes stagnant, collects debris, and eventually gets blocked. Your body's the same. Without enough potassium, the flow, your blood, oxygen, nutrients can't circulate properly, and you'll start to feel it through tingling feet, cold hands, a racing heart, or even those annoying leg cramps. There was a man I once met, Larry, 68 years old, who often felt dizzy when standing up quickly, even though he was eating just fine. When we ran some tests, we found his potassium levels were significantly low. Just a few weeks after adjusting his diet, he called me, happily saying, "For the first time in years, I walked 2 laps around the park without needing to sit down." You see, potassium isn't some kind of miracle drug, but it's one of those quiet keys that keeps your blood pressure steady, your circulation smooth, and your muscles working like they should. And the great news is, you don't need anything fancy to get more potassium. It's right there in your kitchen. In a banana each morning, a creamy slice of avocado, a warm roasted potato, or even just a bowl of fresh spinach. I like to joke with my patients. If bananas knew how important they are, they'd probably double their price. What have you eaten today to support your heart, your legs, and your blood pressure? If you haven't thought about potassium yet, maybe it's time to toss a banana into your shopping cart. Because sometimes it's the little things that make the biggest difference in life after 60. Have you ever felt like your legs just didn't belong to you anymore? No sharp pain, no swelling, but after just a few steps, they start to feel heavy, tired, like every step is dragging your age along with it. One of my longtime patients, Eleanor, 72 years old, once told me, "I don't feel weak, but I don't feel strong either. I just feel like every day my body slows down a little more." And after running a series of tests, we discovered she was low in B vitamins, especially B12 and folate. These tiny nutrients play a huge role in keeping your nervous system healthy, preventing muscle fatigue, and making sure your legs don't give up on you halfway through the day. I often call B vitamins the nervous system's power supply, because without them, your nerves don't fire properly, your body gets tired, and you might start noticing things like shaky hands, numb feet, or a loss of balance. The good news? These vitamins aren't hard to find. They're in the eggs you eat for breakfast, the glass of milk before bed, a bowl of lentil stew, or a plate of colorful leafy greens. And if you're vegetarian or have trouble absorbing nutrients, a small supplement, guided by your doctor, can make a big difference. I want you to imagine this. Every egg, every cup of milk, isn't just food. It's a message to your nervous system saying, we still got miles to go, and we're going to walk them strong. Have you had your B12 levels checked? If not, this might just be the quiet clue behind why your legs have been feeling weaker each day. I want you to think back for a moment. How much water have you actually had today? Seriously, not coffee, not soda. I mean water. The thing that seems so simple, yet is more important than you might think. A 75-year-old gentleman once told me, after being hospitalized for cramps and low blood pressure, I never thought being thirsty could knock me to the floor. But the truth is, at this age, that feeling of thirst isn't as clear as it used to be. And that's exactly why so many older adults are chronically dehydrated without even realizing it. We think we're eating enough, getting enough rest, but we forget one of the most essential things a body needs to function smoothly: water, the foundation of every cell, every muscle, and even your blood circulation. I often say, a dehydrated body is like a garden without water, wilted, heavy, and lacking life. If you're feeling tired, have a slight headache, or notice numbness in your hands or feet by the end of the day, your body might just be thirsty, and you don't even know it. So what's the goal? It's simple. At least 8 glasses of water a day. No need to chug them all at once. Just sip regularly, little by little throughout the day. A glass when you wake up. A glass before meals. A glass when you feel your energy dipping. Because sometimes the difference between a drained day and a day full of energy is just one glass of water. You know, I've always believed growing older doesn't mean growing weaker. It's a new chapter, a time we can slow down, but also when we need to take care of ourselves more than ever. And it all starts with the legs. Keeping your legs strong isn't just about walking. It's about keeping your freedom, keeping your independence, keeping the ability to visit your grandkids, take a stroll to the park, or simply step out into the garden each morning on your own. A well-balanced diet, whether it's enough protein, magnesium, potassium, or just staying hydrated each day, can help lower your risk of falling, ease fatigue, and most importantly, help you live a life that's active, confident, and truly full of quality at the very age when you deserve it the most. If you found today's video helpful, hit like as a way to encourage me to keep going. Share it with your loved ones, with that friend you know who might really need this too. And don't forget to subscribe, because I've got plenty more healthy living tips, meaningful stories, and valuable insights waiting for you in the next videos. Taking care of yourself is a gift you can give to yourself every single day.